So I recently watched Fast 9, or F9. Um, yeah, like, there's only two things I liked about it. And this is what they are. Action concepts. There's some cool action bits, especially with this thing involving a magnet. That's pretty neat. And then there's some humor. But even some of the humor I am not crazy about, because it was kind of the case like this in some of the other Fast and Furious movies, but the humor here very much felt sitcomish. Like, it felt like a sitcom at times. I was like, oh my god, they need a laugh track right now. It was yeah, it was pretty rough in parts, like, for real. Anyway, that's all I liked about it. So yeah, that's it for this video. No, I'm kidding. So here's the thing. I've recently learnt something, that instead of seeing movies as good and bad, I prefer now to see movies as all great lessons, right? There's great movies, like excellent movies, like really well made, really well filmed, just great story, everything, like really great films. And then there's so they're great lessons as well, but then there's also great lessons in regards to bad films, because the bad films, you learn what not to do, or you learn of what went wrong, and why, this movie is not as good. So this movie is still a great lesson. This is an excellent lesson in aspects of it. Plain and simply, I think it's just, the issue with this film is, this might sound crazy, but I felt like the movie could have been more insane. But that being said, the movie is insane. What actually happens is freaking nuts. Like, there's things, no one could survive, right? Or you'd be with a massive concussion or broken bones, whatever. And I couldn't care less about that. I'm fine with that. Like, the part you saw in the trailer, if you've seen the trailer, where the car basically turns into Tarzan, or you want to call it Carzan, right? That bit that happens in it, like, that was great. But unfortunately, that was in kind of it's in the first half, that's for sure. It's pretty close to the beginning of the film when that happens. And from there, I never was as blown away in regards to what was happening. That was probably one of the most insane bits I felt personally in the entire film. But even though there is other crazy stuff in it, it just didn't blow me away, or it didn't stand out to me. I think, for me personally, I think the issue is the director. Now, this director has made a fair few of these movies. I think he made the fifth one, the sixth one. I don't know. I think he did the fifth one, sixth one, and this one. I think there was another one too he did. But anyway, he's made a fair few of them, this director. His name is But yeah, this director, he's done a fair few of them, and he's he does a competent job. I don't think he's great. There's never been, I don't think there's been any Fast and Furious movies where I've really liked it for the visuals, camera composition, camera movements, color palette. Sometimes the color palette's alright, but it's just one of those things. Justin Lin, that's his name, Justin Lin. None of these movies, really on a technical standpoint, have really blown me away. They're nuts. Yeah, so this is surprising, he did Star Trek Beyond, and I think that movie's excellent in regards to just some quirky stuff that really added something to it. I thought, he did a pretty damn good job with Star Trek Beyond. Even for colors palette and everything, I thought Star Trek Beyond was really damn good. It was really different, and it was really fun. But I just didn't feel that with this movie. I felt like it just completely went off the rails in regards to I don't know, embracing how ridiculous it is, but then it kind of was like that. For me, I feel like they need a director to really embrace the movie's goofiness, the corniness, all that stuff. I feel like they need a director in a sense of kind of like Sam Raimi, that did the Spider-Man films and the Evil Dead films. They need someone like that with a very particular style to really enhance the fucking ridiculousness of these films. Right, especially now. These movies are fucking off the rails now. They're GoldenEye, when he jumped off the cliff and got back in the plane and flew it away. Shit like that. Like, they're on that level now, right? But it's just one of those things where it's just... It doesn't have a style that really enhances the goofiness of it, I feel. Like... Or, like, the intensity sometimes that they need. It's just... For me, I just don't find it ever hits that level. So, either someone like Sam Raimi, another director I thought of as well, is Taika Waititi. See, if he did something like this... Now, it doesn't have to be that director, but I'm just saying a director of that type. Sure, it could be Taika Waititi directing it. But my point is just we need a director that more has a specific style and a way of doing things that stands out and enhances the film and really enhances the goofiness, enhances the silliness, the fucking insanity of it. If we had a director like that, I think James Wan did a pretty good job with Fast and Furious 7 when Jason Statham was the bad guy. That one's not bad. It's still not great in regards to just... Like, a lot of technical stuff still doesn't stand out that much to me in that film, but there is more that I found I liked in it than just, you know, action concepts and humor. There was more there. There was more to offer, I felt. But this one, I felt like, yeah, it was just a bit of a mess. It just kind of... It got to a point for me, personally, where it became a blur. Like, there's no shot in it, like, that's like, wow, that was, like, really impressive. Like, there was never that moment. There was never a moment where I felt shocked, where I felt... You know, I chuckled here and there. As I said, once again, I did add humor. But I really feel like I'm being generous adding humor. Because, as I said, it felt like a sitcom. And not a good sitcom either. It was just... Yeah, it felt like a bit of a mess, personally. Like, just a bit of a blurry mess, I would say. But as I said, once again, great lesson. Great lesson of just... what not to do. So there's another bit in the movie as well where they have a truck flipping in it, right? And to me, I just remembered a really great scene, that great scene in The Dark Knight. And it's all practical and it's fucking awesome. Just two shots, you know, just the side-on shot and then the front shot going towards the truck. Just, it's awesome. Yeah, it wasn't that case in this movie. I was like, wow, that makes me appreciate The Dark Knight even more. So thank you, Fast and Furious, for making me even more love that movie. So, you know, there's that. One thing I would say too is, in the very beginning, it does add this certain corniness and whatever, but I felt like to add a certain impact, an emotional impact and intensity, there's a certain thing in the very beginning of the film with this race thing going on, and this car crashes, and this, you know, fireball, you know, this car just explodes, right? They use slow motion. Now, I don't have a huge issue with slow motion if done right. I feel like just slow motion's a great tool. I feel like slow motion works better when you don't even realize it was in slow motion. Like, I think The Big Lebowski uses slow motion a few times in it, with the bowling scenes, and that's done well. Like, it doesn't feel like it's trying too hard to use slow motion. It kind of just naturally flows. But for the most part, like even Thor Ragnarok with a few shots, like when he's jumping down off the building and then he takes out all those dudes, and it's like this wide shot. I might get the shot up where he like goes down and the zombies and shit. Like, it's a fucking gorgeous shot. It looks like something out of like a painting or something. But having that in slow motion is badass as hell. Like, that was an awesome shot. You know, slow motion can be used in parts, right? To enhance it, just visual, like a very cool visual shot, or just to make it flow. Like, as I said, it just naturally flows. You never stop and think, whoa, this is a big bit of slow motion. But the thing is with this car crash, is making it slow motion, it's meant to kind of make it more emotionally impactful. Now, this can work sometimes. I've seen a fair few Korean films do this too. I think Train to Busan uses a bit of slow motion, and I think it works well in that. But in this, maybe it's just the acting wasn't good, and then on top of it, the music was very corny. I'm not sure. Like, something about it was not working. Personally, I feel that car crash scene should have just been done full speed. Like, just normal speed. Just bam, 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 bam. You know, like, you really feel the intensity of it. You're like, oh shit, that car just crashed. And then having like a bit of a bit with the sound where it's like a very distorted sound, like a or something like that. and then just seeing the kid's shocked face, and then maybe like a zoom in shot of the kid's face, just like, what the fuck just happened, you know, like that would have been a really cool way of showing it, like really showing the intensity of it, like the suddenness of it, like no one expected it. But having it in slow motion, I think, completely takes you out of it. Personally, I think it really took me out of it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, yeah, different director, or maybe just a style, a distinctive style. These movies miss a style. I think they really need something that amps it up to make it more fun in that regard. I think that would be awesome if we got a director like Sam Raimi or Taika Waititi. There's probably a bunch of others, even like Edgar Wright. You know, a style like that that's very, you know, like really just fast paced and but just it adds to the badassness of it and just the ridiculousness of it. You know, I don't know if badassness is a word, but anyway, you get the point. I hope you get the point anyway. It's one of those things where better director, just, you know, thinking of how those corny bits could be somewhat self-aware in a way of how corny they are. You know, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it could have been better. Could have been a lot better. But a great lesson of how it could be better. Anyway, like for me personally, I don't think there's any Fast and Furious movie that I think is incredible. Like they're all just like a fun movie, you know, they're just like a, you know, dumb fun type of movies. Like I really enjoy Fast 5. I think that one's really good. It's kind of on that borderline of like not being too nuts, but still really enjoyable. I found the fourth Fast and Furious, I'll probably do separate videos on these. I found the fourth Fast and Furious to be really a bit bland, to be honest. And having that scene in the cave when they're racing around, it's too fucking dark. You can't see shit. Like it's a bit of a mess. That definitely a lesson of you could have done it in that cave, but maybe have longer camera shots so you can really put yourself in the environment, so it's not cutting around and you don't know what's going on because it's too dark. That's what I felt with that cave scene in the fourth one. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'll say this, like, you know, I think it's, I'm somewhat looking forward to the next one. Oh, that's another thing too. The Rock and Jason Statham are in this one, and I really felt the absence of them. Like I really felt it. Like I felt like something was missing. And there is a little moment with Jason Statham in the after credits, and I thought that was a really good bit. Like it was really cool. The thing they did with that, this thing with a punching bag. Like I thought, oh wow, that's awesome. Like I was like, where's more of that? Like what? Like that was a really awesome little bit. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for this this video for me. Tell me your thoughts on the movie. Maybe you liked it. You know, maybe there were some things you really appreciated about it, or maybe, you know, you agree with me, or you've got some ideas of, you know, perhaps how the movie could have been better. Yeah, I'd love to hear, you know, all your thoughts in the comments below, and just, you know, continue a discussion down there. So yeah, that's it for this video, and catch you next time.